Hi, my name is Jane. I'm not sure if this will even be out there since I can't trust anything I'm seeing these days. But I'll start from the beginning. I am a 37-year-old surgeon for the most of the day and come home to my husband and my dog, and it was just a regular Saturday when the nightmares began. At first, I would just dream of dark voids where I wander around aimlessly in search of something. I'm not sure what, but my mind insists me that I have something to find in that awful darkness. And then, after hours on end of walking around, I would just wake up. I thought nothing of it at first, and just thought of it as some weird dream I had. And then, the next day, it happened again. There was no difference the first few times, but when it happened for the fourth time, the dream changed. I was still in the void, but this time I couldn't move. I was just frozen in place, looking in one direction, and I saw something off in the distance. It was just eyes, but there was something off about them. They weren't human. I woke up in cold sweat, but shook it off as the effect of some shows I watched earlier, or a book I read, but throughout the day I still couldn't stop thinking about those eyes. Night came around, I went to sleep, and there I was, again, in the void with those eyes. Except they were closer. I didn't see the thing move at all. It was all like a still image lingering for hours until I wake up in the morning. I decided to talk to my partner about these strange dreams, and at first he just brushed it off as rare occurrence, but after two more times of the creature getting closer and me waking up in cold sweat in the middle of the night, he decided to start researching. Mostly the searches just resulted in meaningless suggestions, like the recurring nightmares being an effect of substance abuse and trauma. But none of those were the case, as my job required me to be extremely focused. Then some suggested it could be the cause of a spirit, and since we didn't have anything else to try, we followed the instructions which, no surprise, did absolutely nothing to stop the nightmares. A week later, and I could finally make out the thing in my dreams. It was a slender, reddish gray-skinned humanoid, reduced to skin and bones, and abnormally tall, a wide mouth-shaped hole in the shape of a round smile, and two giant gaping voids for eye sockets, with two white glowing dots looking at me. Honestly, the creature looked absolutely absurd, like some creepypasta you would find on the internet, but it instilled fear in me. What would happen if it got close enough to me? Would I be killed, tortured, or something even worse? I was scared to find out, so I decided to stay awake for the night, to avoid having that dream again, since it seems the only way it can get closer is when I sleep. My husband thought I was crazy in believing a guy in a dream could physically harm me and told me that I couldn't stay awake forever. He was right, of course, but the fear of looking into those eyes again made me stay awake. I begin my own research, looking for medicine or anything to get rid of these nightmares. I tried everything, yet every time I went back to sleep, it was there. Each time closer than the last. Eventually, I was fired from my job. It was inevitable, of course, considering my mental state. And my dog has began barking at me every night, and it drove my husband mad until he left me too. Strange things started to happen around the house too. First, it was small things like a glass out of place, or a book on the floor. But then I hear footsteps and floorboards creaking. Doors are being opened, walls start to form cracks, and there are constant knocks on the roof. A few days after, I dozed off, and the thing was there again, about 10 feet away from me this time. But when I woke up, my dog was gone without a trace. I searched all throughout the house, and she was nowhere to be found. This thing was taking everything away from me. Now my life is just a cycle of trying to stay awake and being tortured by hallucinations, and my house taunting me during the day, while still hearing the sound of barking at night. I'm too scared to even leave my own room now. I'm not sure how long I can stay awake until I eventually doze off again. Please, if there's anything I can do, tell me. I'm not sure how long I can last before I meet it again.